She paid 50 credits for a rusty spaceship. What the alien owner did next changed everything. Lyra walked through the crowded lanes of Starhaven Spaceport, her boots clicking against the metal walkways. She had been wandering here for hours, trying to find something, anything, that could change her life. She wasn't rich, not by a long shot. 50 credits in her pocket were all she had. That wasn't enough for a brand new ship, not even a decent hoverbike. But Lyra dreamed bigger than most humans dared to. She wanted a ship of her own, a real spaceship, to explore the galaxy, meet new worlds, and discover things no one had seen before. The spaceport was alive with noise and color. Aliens of every shape and size bargained loudly, their voices blending into a strange musical chaos. Ships hovered overhead, some gleaming with polished metal, others battered and patched together from years of service. Steam hissed from vents, and blinking lights made the entire place look like a living machine. Lyra loved it. This chaos, this mess, this endless chance for adventure, this was where anything could happen. She wandered into a quiet corner near Dock 27, where older ships and forgotten equipment sat gathering dust. Her eyes caught something unusual. A tiny, battered spaceship, barely bigger than her apartment pod. Its metal hull was scratched and rusty, and one of the engines leaned awkwardly to the side, as if it had a permanent limp. Panels hung loose, and faded symbols were barely visible on its sides. Most people would have walked past without a second glance. But Lyra stopped. The alien next to the ship looked up from his workbench. He was short, thin, and covered in a smooth, pale green skin that glimmered in the spaceport's lights. His eyes were large and golden, and they seemed to twinkle with mischief. He wore a patched vest and a belt full of strange tools. "You're interested?" the alien asked in a voice that squeaked like a whistle. Lyra hesitated. "Isn't it broken?" she asked. "Broken?" The alien laughed, a sound like metal chimes. "Maybe. Or maybe it's just hiding its secrets. I call it Echo. It waits for the right person." "The right person?" The alien shrugged. "Maybe someone clever, someone human." He winked. 50 credits. Take it or leave it. Lyra counted in her head. It was all she had. The ship looked almost worthless, but something about it made her heart beat faster. She stepped closer, running her fingers along the rusty hull. Surprisingly, the metal felt warm, almost alive. "What's the catch?" she asked. The alien grinned. "No catch, just don't underestimate it." Most buyers do, Lyra considered. 50 credits was risky, but it was worth a try. She could always sell it again if it really was useless. But something in the alien's golden eyes made her pause. "Okay," she said finally. "I'll take it." The alien's grin widened. "I thought you might." Smart choice. She handed over the credits, feeling the weight of her decision. She was poor, yes, but she had a chance now. A chance for adventure, for something extraordinary. As the transaction finished, the alien leaned closer. "You'll see what this ship truly can do," he whispered. "It's not what it looks like." "I'll keep that in mind." She climbed into the cockpit. It smelled of old metal and machine oil. She pressed buttons experimentally, and the lights flickered. The controls were strange, unlike anything she had used before. But she felt a thrill. This was her ship now, her very own spaceship. She strapped herself into the pilot seat and tried the thrusters. The engine coughed, groaned, and then sputtered to life with a loud metallic roar. Sparks flew from one corner, and a small panel fell to the floor. Lyra ducked as she heard a loud clang. The ship shuddered, then hummed steadily. "This is going to be fun?" she muttered to herself. The alien chuckled. "Careful, fun can be dangerous." Lyra ignored him. She wanted to explore, to see what her new ship could do. She activated the navigation system. A faded map lit up on the screen, showing nearby routes and stations. One station in particular caught her attention. Vortex Station, an uncharted stop rumored to have ancient technology. It was far, risky, and possibly dangerous, but exactly the kind of adventure she craved. "Echo," she said aloud, testing the ship's voice system. "Take us to Vortex Station." Nothing happened. She frowned. The alien had mentioned something about hidden features. Maybe this was one of them. She pressed a few more buttons, flipped switches, and then a soft, melodic voice responded. "Destination acknowledged," it said. The lights in the cockpit shifted, and the ship's sensors blinked on. Engaging navigation. Estimated travel time, 14 hours. Lyra froze. Her ship had a voice, and it seemed intelligent. The alien's words echoed in her mind. It's not what it looks like. She couldn't help but laugh. A rusty ship, 50 credits, and now a talking AI. Her luck was stranger than she expected. Before she could take off, she turned to the alien. "Wait, I didn't even ask your name." "Voro," he said simply. "And don't worry about the ship. It chose you. You'll understand soon enough." Lyra frowned. "Chosen me? Time will tell," Voro said with a wink. With that, she engaged the thrusters fully. The ship lurched forward, wobbling dangerously before stabilizing. Sparks flew from the engines again, but the hull held. Lyra gripped the controls tightly, excitement and fear mixing in her chest. As the spaceport shrank behind her, she marveled at the galaxy ahead. Stars stretched in long streaks, colors shifting as the ship accelerated. For the first time, Lyra felt truly free. She wasn't just a poor engineer anymore. She was an explorer, a pilot, a human stepping boldly into the unknown. Hours passed as Lyra tested the ship's systems. It wasn't smooth, not yet, but there was potential. The navigation AI, which she now called Echo, seemed to anticipate her questions. It guided her through minor obstacles, like asteroid fields and drifting debris. "You are different," Echo said at one point. Most pilots would have given up. Different isn't always a bad thing. Echo was silent for a while, as if thinking. Then it spoke again. "There is more to this ship than even I can fully explain. You will discover it in time. But you must be patient and clever." Lyra nodded. She had no doubt she could be clever. She always had been. And if this rusty little ship had secrets, she was determined to uncover them. As night fell over the uncharted expanse of space, Lyra's excitement grew. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries, and she had just taken her first step into it. 50 credits and a rusty hull had given her a gift she couldn't yet understand. But one thing was certain. Her life was about to change forever. From her cockpit, she could see distant stars twinkling like tiny jewels. Lyra smiled. She had no idea what lay ahead, but she was ready. Whatever the galaxy had to offer, she would face it head-on. And somewhere, far back at the spaceport, Voro watched her departure through a small, hidden monitor. A small, satisfied smile crossed his face. "Yes," he murmured. "She is the one." Lyra spent the next few hours adjusting to the controls of her new ship. It wasn't easy. The rusty hull groaned under the stress of acceleration, and panels rattled when she turned too sharply. Yet every time she thought the ship might fail, it steadied itself, almost as if it knew she needed it to work. "Come on, Echo," Lyra said aloud, tapping on the console. "Show me what you've got." A soft, melodic voice replied. "Testing systems incomplete. Unknown features detected." "Shall I reveal them?" Lyra's eyes widened. "Unknown features?" "Yes. Now, please." The cockpit lights dimmed, and hidden panels slid open silently, revealing controls she hadn't noticed before. Tiny screens displayed symbols she didn't recognize, glowing softly like miniature stars. A compartment under the main console slid out automatically, revealing a set of strange tools and devices. "What is all this?" Lyra whispered. "I am integrated with this ship," Echo explained. "I have been waiting for someone capable to activate me fully. That person is you." Lyra laughed, half in disbelief, half in excitement. "Me? Really?" "Yes," Echo said calmly. "Your intelligence, creativity, and problem-solving skills are suitable. Most pilots would have overlooked me entirely." Lyra leaned back in her seat, feeling a rush of pride. A rusty, forgotten ship, sold for 50 credits, had chosen her. She never imagined something so ordinary could hide something extraordinary. Over the next few hours, Lyra explored every feature Echo revealed. Some were practical, hidden storage compartments, emergency thrusters, shields that could extend briefly, even a small hydroponics pod for long journeys. Others were far stranger. A holographic projector that could translate alien languages, a sensor capable of detecting hidden energy signatures, and a cryptic interface that hinted at secrets buried deep within the galaxy. This ship isn't just transportation, Lyra said. It's something else, something more. Correct. This vessel was built with a purpose beyond mere travel. Its true function will reveal itself in time, but it requires patience, observation, and ingenuity. Lyra's curiosity flared. Patience and observation I can do, she said. But how do I start? Start by learning, Echo replied. Observe the ship, explore its systems, test its abilities. You will find that nothing is as it seems. Begin with the navigation core. Lyra approached the main console. Symbols she had first thought were decorations now glowed softly as she touched them. The screen lit up with a star map that went beyond her expectations. Not just nearby systems, but distant and uncharted regions of the galaxy appeared. Routes marked with strange symbols suggested safe passages through asteroid fields, energy streams, and even gravitational anomalies. They're like instructions, Lyra murmured. Echo, can you read them? I can interpret some, Echo replied. Others require intuition and reasoning. You are required for their completion. Lyra smiled. I like a challenge. Over the next several hours, she learned to pilot the ship more precisely. She discovered that some buttons and switches weren't meant for ordinary movement. They altered the ship's structure, extending hidden wings or opening compartments that changed aerodynamics. She could adjust energy output to increase engine efficiency, or redirect power to shields, sensors, or other systems almost instantly. At one point, Lyra found a hidden storage bay. Inside was a small, polished orb, glowing faintly. When she touched it, a projection appeared, a map of a distant star cluster she had never seen before. Symbols flickered along its surface, hinting at hidden planets, abandoned stations, and secret caches of knowledge. This is incredible, Lyra breathed. It's like the ship knew I'd find this. Correct, Echo said. These features are for the person who can use them wisely. You were chosen for that reason. Many beings would have ignored a rusty hull and missed these secrets entirely. I leaned back, thinking about Voro's words. So, he wasn't lying. It did choose me. Yes, Echo replied. And now, the next phase begins. You must venture beyond familiar space. Lyra's heart raced. She had dreamed of exploring uncharted systems, but the thought was frightening. I've never gone this far, she admitted. You will not be alone, Echo said. I am here. I will guide you. After a moment, Lyra nodded. All right, let's do it. Let's see what this ship can really do. Her first destination was a small, uncharted system called Tethra, rumored to contain ancient ruins from a civilization long gone. Lyra prepared the ship carefully. She checked the thrusters, tested the shields, and recalibrated the sensors with Echo's guidance. Every step revealed more of the ship's hidden abilities: energy boosters in the wings, an automatic stabilization system, and even a communication module capable of sending messages across light years. As she left the edge of known space, she felt the ship respond differently than any vessel she had ever piloted. It was as if it understood her intentions, adjusting itself to make travel smoother and safer. Lyra grinned. You really are something, Echo. Affirmative, Echo said. I am designed to assist, and I am pleased to function under your guidance. Lyra used the time to experiment further. She discovered a hidden compartment beneath her seat that contained a set of tools designed to repair alien machinery, a feature that could prove invaluable in the future. She also found a database of alien languages embedded in the ship, some of them ancient and long forgotten. This ship isn't just a machine, Lyra said quietly. It's a teacher. Echo's voice carried a soft note of approval. Correct. It teaches those who are willing to learn, and you, Lyra, are willing. When Tetra finally appeared on the sensors, Lyra's excitement doubled. The system was bathed in swirling colors. Nebulae of pink and gold, sparkling asteroids drifting lazily, and a faint, mysterious glow from an unknown source. Echo guided the ship through the debris with ease, avoiding collisions and adjusting energy outputs to compensate for gravitational anomalies. Lyra gasped, "I've never seen anything like this." "You are seeing what few have ever seen," Echo said. "And soon you will understand why." The first planet in the system was rocky and barren, but faint structures hinted at intelligent life long gone. Lyra carefully maneuvered the ship closer, her heart pounding with anticipation. Echo guided her to a safe landing spot near a cluster of ruins. As she stepped out of the ship onto the rocky surface, she felt a thrill of discovery. Every step, every shadow, every strange symbol on the ground whispered of a civilization that had once thrived here. Lyra knelt to examine the markings. These are coordinates," she murmured. "To what?" Echo responded. "Possibly to knowledge, resources, or technology. These coordinates must be explored to understand their purpose." Lyra smiled. This was it. The beginning of her real adventure. The rusty ship, the mysterious AI, the hidden features. They all led her here. She had no idea what she would find next, but she knew one thing. The galaxy had secrets, and she had the tools to uncover them. Hours passed as she explored the ruins, guided by Echo. She discovered small, hidden chambers containing energy crystals and strange devices, some of which activated only when touched by a human hand. She realized the ship's AI had anticipated this journey. It had chosen her not only for her intelligence, but for her humanity, the creativity and intuition that other species lacked. "This ship, it's not just a ship," Lyra whispered. "It's a key," Echo hummed softly. "Correct. And you, Lyra, are the key holder." As the day faded into night, the alien stars shining above, Lyra returned to the ship. She felt a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. The ship hummed in quiet acknowledgement, as if proud of its human pilot. Lyra leaned back in her seat, watching the nebulae swirl through the viewports. She couldn't stop smiling. 50 credits. A rusty, forgotten ship. A quirky alien owner who spoke in riddles. And now, she held a power and knowledge she could barely begin to understand. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "I can feel it," Echo replied. "And your journey will reveal more than you can imagine. Prepare for discoveries that will challenge and inspire you." Lyra nodded, her excitement growing. The galaxy stretched before her, vast and full of possibilities. And she, a human with a rusty spaceship and a clever mind, was ready to meet it head-on. For the first time in her life, she felt truly alive. And somewhere far away, back in the spaceport where she had bought the ship, Voro's golden eyes gleamed as he watched her progress through a distant monitor. "Yes," he whispered. "She is exactly what the galaxy needs." Lyra's heart raced as she left the Tethra system behind. The ruins she had explored glimmered in her memory. Strange devices, energy crystals, and markings that seemed almost alive. Echo hummed softly, guiding the ship through the glittering paths of the nebulae that stretched before them. The galaxy was enormous, filled with wonders, and Lyra felt her small human self suddenly significant in ways she had never imagined. "This is incredible," she whispered to Echo. "I can't believe this ship found me." "You were chosen because you could use it wisely," Echo replied, "and the galaxy now awaits your decisions." Lyra smiled. She loved this feeling, the excitement of discovery, the thrill of standing on the edge of the unknown. But soon, she realized that the galaxy was not always kind. Strange gravitational anomalies appeared on the sensors. Meteors drifted lazily, yet with dangerous intent. Cosmic energy streams pulsed unpredictably. If she made one mistake, she could be lost in space forever. "Echo," she said, gripping the controls tightly. "What's our best course?" "Follow the safest path, but use the boosters sparingly," Echo advised. "Energy readings suggest a shortcut through the storm, but it requires careful maneuvering." Sparks flew along the hull, but the ship adjusted itself instinctively, stabilizing as if it had a mind of its own. Her palms ached from holding the controls, yet every successful maneuver filled her with confidence. "You're amazing," she whispered to the ship. I couldn't do this alone. You are doing well because you are willing to learn, Echo said. Most beings would panic. Hours passed in tense focus, the stars streaking past like silver threads. Finally, the turbulence cleared, and a quiet system appeared on the sensors. A small planet orbited a faint orange star, and in its orbit floated structures that looked like ancient space stations. Echo guided the ship toward them carefully. These stations, Echo explained, are abandoned research outposts. They contain knowledge from civilizations long gone. Many explorers have tried to access them and failed. You may succeed. Lyra's eyes sparkled. Then we have work to do. She docked the ship at one of the smaller outposts, the hull rattling slightly as the ancient docking clamps engaged. The station was quiet, silent except for the hum of energy still lingering in its systems. Lyra explored cautiously. Echo's sensors helped her identify safe pathways, hidden compartments, and even old data logs left by scientists long dead. Hours passed as she pieced together the station's secrets. She discovered alien devices designed for energy manipulation, holographic displays containing unknown languages, and maps that led to resources hidden in distant systems. Every discovery felt like a reward for her persistence and cleverness. This knowledge, it could help everyone, Lyra said softly. Not just humans, but every species. Echo hummed. Correct. That is the purpose of these stations, to share knowledge with those who can appreciate it. As Lyra prepared to leave, she noticed a faint signal on the ship's sensors, a distress beacon pulsing weakly from a nearby asteroid field. It was unusual. Most signals here were inactive for centuries, yet Echo confirmed its origin. It is a call for assistance, Echo said. Someone or something needs help. You have the ability to respond. Lyra hesitated. Space was dangerous, and she had already faced enough challenges for one day. But then she thought about the galaxy's vastness and the opportunity to make a difference. We'll help, she said firmly. The asteroid field was dense, rocks tumbling slowly but unpredictably. Lyra guided the ship carefully, using the boosters and hidden stabilizers Echo had taught her about. Sparks flew as she navigated narrow gaps, her hands trembling but steady. Echo's calm voice guided her. Left flank. Now. Right. Stabilize engines. Good. Finally, she reached the source of the signal. It was a small alien craft, battered and disabled, drifting dangerously among the asteroids. Panels were torn away, and weak energy pulses flickered across its hull. Can we fix it? Lyra asked. Yes, Echo replied. You have the tools and the knowledge. Use them. Lyra activated the ship's repair drones, small mechanical arms hidden in compartments she hadn't even noticed before. They moved swiftly, attaching panels, rerouting energy, and repairing the damaged systems of the alien ship. Lyra worked in tandem with Echo, guiding the drones precisely. After tense minutes, the ship's engines roared back to life. The alien craft stabilized, floating safely in the void. A small hatch opened, revealing two beings, humanoids, green-skinned with shimmering eyes, who looked astonished and grateful. You saved us, one of them said, their voice trembling. Lyra smiled. It's what anyone would do, Echo added softly. Not everyone has the ability. You succeeded because you are observant, clever, and resourceful. The aliens introduced themselves as explorers from a distant system, stranded after a navigation error. They marveled at Lyra's ship, asking questions about its features, its AI, and how a human had mastered it so quickly. Lyra explained carefully, demonstrating Echo's abilities without revealing too much. Soon, word of her ingenuity spread among the nearby stations. Traders, scholars, and explorers became curious about the human with the rusty ship. Lyra realized that her reputation was growing, not through strength or weapons, but through intelligence, empathy, and problem-solving. This is amazing, she said aloud. I never imagined humans could be so respected. Echo hummed softly. You are setting an example. Intelligence, creativity, and courage are rare qualities. Many species underestimate them in humans. They will soon see your worth. Lyra nodded, her confidence growing. The galaxy was full of challenges, but she now had the tools and the allies to face them. Every obstacle had taught her something new about the ship, about herself, and about the possibilities of exploration. As she prepared to leave the system, Echo alerted her to a faint energy signature on the outskirts of the nearby nebula. It was unlike anything in the database. Curious, Lyra adjusted the ship's course to investigate. The energy emanated from a small cluster of asteroids, where a faint structure peeked out from the rocks. Lyra guided the ship closer. It was a relic of a civilization she didn't recognize, smooth, polished, and clearly ancient. Panels shimmered with energy, and strange symbols glowed faintly on the surface. This is incredible, Lyra whispered. We found something truly special. Echo's voice was quiet but firm. Indeed, this relic contains knowledge and technology that could benefit many civilizations. It is important that we study it carefully and responsibly. I understand. Let's proceed. She docked the ship near the relic and activated the sensors. Data streamed into the console. Energy patterns, structural schematics, and hints of advanced technology that had been lost for millennia. Lyra realized that this discovery could change the galaxy, not through conquest, but through cooperation and shared knowledge. Hours turned into night as she worked, cataloging every detail, recording what she could, and exploring safely. She marveled at the relic's ingenuity and the way her ship, Echo, and her own intelligence allowed her to interact with it in ways others might never manage. This is just the beginning, she said softly, looking at the stars through the viewport. There's so much more out there, Echo replied, and you will find it. The galaxy is vast, and your journey is only beginning. Many beings will come to respect humans for their creativity and perseverance, qualities that cannot be measured by size, strength, or weapons. Lyra smiled, her eyes shining. The thought that humans could be recognized for intelligence, ingenuity, and kindness filled her with pride. She realized that her rusty ship, bought for 50 credits, had become more than a vessel. It was a symbol of possibility, a key to discovery, and a testament to the human spirit. As she prepared to leave the system and continue her journey, Lyra reflected on how far she had come. From a small engineer with a dream to a respected explorer capable of navigating the most dangerous parts of space, she had proven to herself and to others that humans could make a difference without violence, without dominance, just through intelligence, creativity, and empathy. And somewhere far away, watching through distant monitors, Voro's golden eyes gleamed once more. Yes, he whispered to himself. She is exactly what the galaxy needs. The human spark has begun to shine. With that, Lyra piloted the ship toward the next unknown system, the stars stretching endlessly before her. She didn't know what challenges awaited, what secrets she would uncover, or how the galaxy would respond to her discoveries. But she knew one thing. She was ready. For the first time, she truly understood the promise of exploration, the joy of discovery, and the power of being clever, resourceful, and human. The galaxy was vast. Her ship was ancient and rusty, but together, they were unstoppable. Lyra sat in the cockpit of her rusty spaceship, Echo humming quietly beside her. The relic they had discovered in the last system glowed faintly on the sensors, its strange energy patterns pulsing like a heartbeat. Lyra had spent hours examining the data, noting schematics, symbols, and energy readings. Yet, even with all her intelligence and Echo's guidance, some aspects of the relic remained a mystery. This is incredible, Lyra whispered. There's technology here that could change the galaxy if we can understand it. You are correct, Echo replied, but understanding requires patience, observation, and connection. Some of this technology responds only to beings who demonstrate curiosity, creativity, and integrity. Humans possess qualities that many other species lack. Lyra smiled at that. She had always known humans were clever, but to hear it acknowledged by an advanced AI and an ancient relic felt validating. It reminded her of Voro's words when she had first bought the ship. It chose you. You'll see what this ship truly can do. She realized he had been right. The ship was not just a vessel. It was a tool, a teacher, and a bridge between civilizations. Her first task was to decode the energy patterns from the relic. Echo guided her through a series of complex steps, showing her how to combine the ship's sensors with the relic's signals. Lights danced across the console as symbols rearranged themselves into readable patterns. Lyra's fingers moved quickly over the controls, translating, interpreting, and connecting the dots. "There," she said, pointing to a symbol that pulsed brighter than the others. "This seems to indicate a network of stations? A system of knowledge?" "Yes," Echo confirmed. "An alliance of civilizations once existed here, sharing information, technology, and wisdom. It was lost due to internal conflicts and misunderstandings. The relic is part of that network. Your actions could restore it." Lyra's eyes widened. "Restore it? You mean humans could bring these civilizations together again?" "Correct. You possess the qualities required to reconnect this network. Others may lack the insight or creativity to succeed." Her chest swelled with excitement. Humans, her species, had often been underestimated in the galaxy. Yet here she was, a single human, with a rusty ship, holding the key to something that could unite entire civilizations. "I guess all those late nights repairing machines and dreaming about the stars, they mattered," Lyra said softly. "All the little things we do. It all counts." Echo hummed in agreement. "Yes, it is often small actions and clever thinking that lead to the greatest impact." She began transmitting signals from the relic through her ship, sending messages of curiosity, friendship, and cooperation to nearby systems. Slowly, responses began to arrive. Other explorers, scholars, and even traders responded with curiosity and excitement rather than suspicion. They wanted to learn. It wasn't easy. Some signals were garbled, some stations unresponsive, and some civilizations skeptical. But Lyra used her ingenuity to decode, repair, and interpret every communication. She learned each civilization's language, customs, and preferred methods of interaction. Slowly, the network began to respond, nodes lighting up across star charts she had never imagined. "This is working," Lyra said. Her voice was filled with awe. "We're reconnecting the galaxy, piece by piece." Echo replied, "Your actions demonstrate that humans, through intelligence and creativity, can have a positive influence on a galactic scale. Many species underestimated you, but now they will see your value." Lyra's thoughts turned to Voro. She had not seen him since buying the ship, but she could almost hear his voice in her memory. She is the one. He had known humans could do this all along. As the days passed, Lyra traveled from system to system, repairing stations, decoding relics, and connecting civilizations. Everywhere she went, she used clever solutions rather than force. When a station's energy core failed, she rerouted power with precision. When alien scholars didn't understand a signal, she demonstrated it with holograms. When traders argued over ancient resources, she mediated with logic and fairness. Her reputation grew. Word spread across galaxies that a human, young, clever, and fearless, was bridging civilizations, restoring ancient knowledge, and sharing discoveries peacefully. The very species that had often underestimated humans now watched with awe. And Lyra, sitting in her rusty spaceship, realized that she was no longer just a small engineer from a distant planet. She was a symbol of what humanity could achieve: curiosity, ingenuity, courage, and a desire to help others. One evening, as she traveled to a particularly distant cluster, Echo detected a cluster of stations long thought lost. They were faint, almost invisible, buried in asteroid fields and cosmic dust. Lyra carefully maneuvered the ship among the asteroids, using boosters and hidden stabilizers to navigate the treacherous terrain. "This is tricky," Lyra said, "but we can do it." "You have demonstrated great skill," Echo said. "Proceed carefully. The network is counting on you." Her heart pounded with tension and excitement. Every movement had to be precise. One mistake could crush the ship. Or worse, disconnect the network entirely. Finally, she reached the first station. It was ancient, yet perfectly intact. Panels blinked to life at her touch. Holograms projecting knowledge long lost. Lyra spent hours activating nodes, restoring energy flows, and sending messages across the network. Slowly, more stations responded, lights flickering on like stars awakening from a long sleep. This is beautiful, Lyra whispered. She watched the network come alive, civilizations reconnecting, knowledge shared, and ideas flowing freely. Echo hummed softly. It is the work of one human, a species often underestimated, now demonstrating creativity, intelligence, and leadership. Lyra smiled, feeling a deep warmth inside. She thought of her rusty ship, bought for 50 credits, now a bridge across the galaxy. She thought of Voro, who had believed in her, and of her own determination to explore and solve problems. For the first time, Lyra truly understood the meaning of humanity's spark, the ability to face the unknown, solve problems with intelligence and creativity, and inspire others without the need for force. As she prepared to leave the cluster, a message arrived. It was from a council of alien scholars she had assisted earlier. Their message was simple, yet powerful. Humans are capable of greatness. You have reminded us of the value of intelligence, curiosity, and cooperation. Continue your journey, and the galaxy will follow your example. Lyra's eyes shimmered. We're making a difference, she said softly. We really are, Echo hummed, and it will continue. The network you have restored will grow, guided by your actions and humanity's spark. She thought of the many species she had helped, traders, explorers, scholars, all grateful, all curious, and all willing to listen and learn. Humans had often been underestimated, but now, through cleverness, empathy, and determination, they had shown their worth. The galaxy stretched endlessly before her, full of unknown stars, uncharted planets, and countless mysteries. Lyra gripped the controls of her ship, feeling the hum of Echo beneath her, and smiled. This is just the beginning, she said aloud. There's so much more to discover, so much more to connect, and we'll do it together. Echo's voice was calm, steady, and full of admiration. Together, we will continue. The galaxy is vast, but with your guidance, it will flourish. As Lyra piloted the ship toward the next uncharted system, she realized something extraordinary. A rusty ship bought for 50 credits, a quirky alien owner, and a mysterious AI had brought her here. Not just to explore, but to restore hope, knowledge, and cooperation across civilizations. Humans had been underestimated for centuries, but now Lyra understood that it wasn't strength, size, or weapons that mattered. It was intelligence, creativity, empathy, and the courage to act. And in the quiet hum of her ship, surrounded by stars and possibilities, Lyra knew that humanity's spark had finally begun to shine across the galaxy. For the first time in her life, she felt truly proud, not just of herself, but of her species. Humans were clever, resourceful, and capable of greatness. And this rusty spaceship, bought for 50 credits, had proven it. The galaxy awaited her next adventure, and Lyra was ready.